Hello and welcome to the Onside Kick. Ricky Widmer here along with Dave Oster. In this video, we're going to be discussing a little MLB free agency in a way, because even though R.A Dickey wasn't a free agent, he tells the Mets, I want a contract extension or I walk at the end of the season.
Yeah.
We talked about it in our last video when we discussed a little bit of Josh Hamilton going to the Angels. Dave, you said that the Mets cannot wait until the trade deadline to get rid of R.A Dickey.
And that was for sure.
They didn't wait a week, it seems like, as they ship R.A Dickey off to the Blue Jays. He passes his physical.
Still doesn't matter if he doesn't sign a extension.
2-year extension.
He did? It went through? All right.
2-year extension after this one. Trade is through. And
jeez, that's a lot of money, I bet.
Two of the big players, I want to say it was 2 years, $25 million, but I'm not quite sure. I know he's supposed to make $5 million just this year alone. So the two players, the big two-player prospects that the Mets get out of this is catcher Travis DeArndid and right-hand pitcher Noah Syndergaard, and another, it wasn't all of the four that they got, but another veteran that will be going to the Mets is John Buck. No relation, I don't think, to Joe Buck.
I hope not.
But Dave, the Blue Jays get Dickey. They have him now for 2 years. Now there's top 3 pitchers in their starting rotation. Dickey, last year's Cy Young. Josh Johnson, an ace in Florida last year, or Miami as you can call it.
Yeah.
And then Mark Burley, who used to be an ace in Chicago.
I think they've done an amazing job this offseason. Toronto's clearly going for the win now. The only reason in the last video, I think when we talked about this possibility, I didn't see them giving away their top prospect. I knew they had given away some, but I thought he was the off-limits. This will be our catcher of the future named player. But no, they trade away him. That'd be Travis. Yeah.
Travis.
So, a little bit surprised by that move. But honestly, Toronto, big moves this offseason. They clearly want to take this in the next, I think their window is about a 3-year window.
Well, I mean,
they've got some aging pitching, obviously, between Burley and Dickey. They got some older pitching, but they have inning soakers.
Looking at their roster now, just their top 3, Dickey, Burley, and Johnson.
Burley and Johnson can put in 200 innings a year. Still.
And then you have in positional players, Melky Cabrera, they signed from the Giants.
Fresh off his steroids.
Jose Reyes, in a trade from the Marlins.
We'll see how interested he is, because he's had some personality issues.
And I don't know, I think this AL East division...
That's actually a good field for him, too.
What, the Toronto field?
Yeah, for Reyes, because he's a slap hitter, and that ball comes flying off of it.
But with this division, I feel the Yankees, you always put them in for the division race.
Yeah, they've got a chance.
The Red Sox are rebuilding. Today,
Quickly.
They even made another signing today, getting Steven Drew for 1 year on a $9.5 million deal from Oakland.
Yes.
The Rays, they're always a team that you say that they're going to be at the bottom sometimes, but then they surprise you. You say they're going to be at the top, and then they're in the middle of the division. You never know.
You don't know what to expect out of
them. And now you got Toronto making big deals, and the Orioles from last season. Is this going to be the only division in baseball where it is a 5-team race?
I think 4. I honestly, my Rays, I see them.
You don't think they're going to be that?
I think they're the ones who will fall behind at first. The Orioles had a phenomenal season last year. There's no discounting that. But they're an unproven product. But I still like their chances more than the Rays. I just got this feeling about it. I mean, even as an unproven product, I still
and the Rays, I want to say they shipped Shields off to Kansas City this year. One of their better pitchers. And one question I just thought of, I'm going to throw it off to you, because I think that it's very important. How important of a start is it for Toronto to start hot out of the gate now this season and not kind of end up like the Miami Marlins?
I don't think it matters in baseball as much.
You really don't think so?
I really don't. Baseball's all how you finish. It's 110%. That last 2 months of the season stretch. I mean, we've seen, the Rockies went 20 games straight into the playoffs. Teams get hot at the right time, you're going to be fine. And I honestly think that they've got, like you said, they've got pitching depth, they've got age. I think they'll be fine no matter what. I think they'll be like middle of the ground come All-Star break.
I kind of have this, and it's kind of like how you feel with the Rays. There's this little part of me that is just looking at the Marlins last year, and I know the Marlins were a different story where they were coming out, new uniforms, new logo, new stadium.
Break the bank.
You have your first game on ESPN primetime baseball. You're the only game being played against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And I just feel with Toronto, do they have to start out real hot to make a image? No.
I don't think the pressure is there because they're not a prime market.
What's important, though, is don't get too hot of a head. Don't become the Miami Marlins and say, oh, well, we got all this talent. We're the best team. I mean, there's a difference between having, what's the word?
Confidence and
having
cockiness.
Confidence, yes, versus cockiness. And I mean, the Blue Jays just have to go out there and show with these deals that they have made that they are the best team in the division.
Yeah.
Back it up. Back your words up with your actions is basically what I'm saying. And that's how I feel with this Toronto deal. I know that both me and you were like, well, where's this going? But last thing I really want to talk about is that I want to throw in that Stephen Drew deal.
Okay.
1 year, $9.5 million. Some are saying that is too much money for Stephen Drew, who he was that kind of player before his ankle injury, but after his ankle injury, he's not that player. I just want to get your 2 cents.
Yeah.
Is Boston really getting what they're paying for, or should they have paid a
No.
little less?
They're overpaying just to get him there. I think that right now, you're right, Boston is trying to rebuild, and they're doing it quickly, and they're grabbing every name available that they can. So I think, they probably overpaid, but is that going to hurt Boston in the long run? No. Boston
only 1 year.
Boston has no problem with big contracts, and, I think it's a name that is pretty well known, and he's showed solid production in the past. So I think, maybe another year off the ankle injury, and he'll be fine.
Well, that's going to do it for this video of the Onside Kick. Tell us down below, what do you think about the R.A. Dickey deal? Will Toronto be a huge contender in the AL East? And how is that race going to play out this season? And then finally, if you want to tell us about the Stephen Drew deal to Boston, let us know about that. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/The Onside Kick.